So we'll study today Hall's process. Again, Hall's process is also a method for concentration of bauxite ore. Earlier we have discussed Bayer's process. In Bayer's process, what we have studied, ore is powdered and crushed and heated with aqueous sodium hydroxide. But over here, ore is powdered and crushed and heated with aqueous sodium carbonate. Instead of sodium hydroxide, what we'll use? Sodium carbonate, and it is carried out in a large steel tank that is called as digester. So we can say in Hall's process, ore is powdered. In Hall's process, ore is powdered and heated with aqueous sodium carbonate. So in Hall's process, ore is powdered and then leached by heating with aqueous sodium carbonate. In a large steel tank that is called as digester. So this is the basic difference between Hall's and Bayer's. In Bayer's process we use aqueous sodium hydroxide, and in Hall's process we use aqueous sodium carbonate. In Bayer's process, aluminum oxide was leached by aqueous sodium hydroxide, and here it will be leached by aqueous sodium carbonate. What is the meaning of leached? Leached means getting dissolved. So this is the first point. After writing down this first point, we can write down the reaction. The reaction will be Al2O3, 2 molecules of water. It is leached by heating with aqueous sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate is Na2CO3. What it will form? It is going to form sodium aluminate, carbon dioxide and water. What is sodium aluminate? NaO2, water and carbon dioxide gas is released. Then second point, so this is the reaction. You can balance the reaction. Sodium is 2, over here it is 1, hydrogen 2 to the 4, over here it is 2, oxygen you can check out, it is balanced. Then so in Hall's process, ore is powdered and leached by heating with aqueous sodium carbonate in a large steel tank. Here we have seen that it has formed sodium aluminate. Now after forming sodium aluminate, we can say that the remaining impurities are filtered out. Okay. So in Hall's process, ore is powdered and leached by heating it with aqueous sodium carbonate. What it forms? Water soluble sodium aluminate. The other impurities are filtered out. Other impurities are filtered out. But which impurity? Insoluble impurity. The insoluble impurities which are there, it can be filtered out. After filtration, the liquid obtained is called as filtrate. What it is called? Filtrate. We can write on the next point. Then the insoluble impurities are filtered out. Next point, after filtration we get what? Filtrate. So filtrate contains sodium aluminate. Filtrate is warmed and neutralized. The filtrate is warmed and neutralized by passing carbon dioxide gas through it. After passing carbon dioxide gas through it, this results in the precipitation of aluminum hydroxide. Now one thing is clear, in Bayer's process what we did, null O2, that is sodium filtrate, was diluted by putting in water and cooled to 50 degrees Celsius, which resulted in precipitation of aluminum hydroxide. But in Hall's process, filtrate is warmed and neutralized by passing carbon dioxide gas through it, which will result in the precipitation of aluminum hydroxide. So we can write down the reaction as filtrate contains what? Null O2. It is warmed, it contains water, it is warmed and neutralized by passing carbon dioxide gas through it. Same thing you have to write down. Excess carbon dioxide is passed through it. This will result in precipitation of aluminum hydroxide. What it is going to form? Aluminum hydroxide, AlOH thrice. It will be formed as precipitate. At the same time, it will also form sodium carbonate. What is sodium carbonate? Na2CO3. Here you can balance the reaction. Balanced reaction will be 2 molecules of null O2, 3 molecules of water. Balancing part you can do on your own. Now we got aluminum hydroxide as precipitate. So what is the basic difference in Bayer's and Hall's process? In Bayer's process, what we did, filtrate was diluted by putting in water and cooled to 50 degrees Celsius, which results in the precipitation of aluminum hydroxide. But in Hall's process, what we did, filtrate is warmed and neutralized by passing carbon dioxide gas through it. This results in the precipitation of aluminum hydroxide. Further, you can repeat the same point. As in Bayer's process, we can say aluminum hydroxide is filtered out. We can say filtered, then washed, then after washing we can dry and ignited at 1000 degrees Celsius to get alumina. We can write on the reaction. So AlOH thrice is heated at 1000 degrees Celsius. After drying, we get what? Al2O3 plus water. And this process is called Hall's process. So what is Hall's process? Ore is powdered and crushed and heated with aqueous sodium hydroxide. Here what happens? It is leached by aqueous sodium carbonate. What it forms? Sodium aluminate, water soluble sodium aluminate, and then the insoluble impurities are filtered out. After removing the impurities, after filtration, the liquid obtained is called as filtrate. So what we just said, the filtrate is warmed and neutralized by passing carbon dioxide gas through it. In case of Bayer's process, how it was formed, how precipitate was formed? Filtrate was diluted by putting in water and cooling to 50 degrees Celsius, which resulted in precipitation. But over here, filtrate is warmed and neutralized by passing carbon dioxide gas through it. This results in the precipitation of aluminum hydroxide, and this precipitate is filtered, washed, dried and ignited at 1000 degrees Celsius to get alumina. And this process is called as Hall's process. So these are the two processes, Hall's process and Bayer's process. These are the process, these are chemical method to concentrate ores of aluminium. That's all. Thank you.